See, I'm never quite as ready as I think I am, because now I want it to be higher. Let's try that. Does that work? Yes, it works. Okay. Hello. There. Okay. Hi, guys. Hi, hi, hi. Hi. All right, so I'll give y'all a little bit to come on. Woo! Stay! Hi, guys. Hi, hi. Why did my incense go out? No wonder I haven't been smelling it lately. Hello, 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 hello. Well, that's a pretty one. I gotta put that on my altar, too. Okay, keep going. Oh, look at that. Okay. That was so close. Okay. Hi. Oh, wait, I have to shut this. Hi, everyone. Okay, how are we doing? I know I'm on early, and I decided I am not doing Tarot Tuesday tonight, and I will explain that in just a minute why. There's a good reason, but yes. Long hair, skinny eyed toe. Hi, sweetheart. Paperback. Hi, honey. Lady D. Hi. Witchy Woo. How you doing? Danny, Sherry, Witch of the Meadows. Deb. Hi. Sonia. Hello. Marcia. Yay. I'm so glad you're here tonight. Okay. Miriam. Hi, honey. Okay. So the reason that I'm not going to do Tarot Tuesday tonight, all right, there's an orb that's going to end up right on my chin, and it's really annoying. Like, look, it's right there. It must be in my camera, which it's a new phone. How can it be in my camera? I'm going to let it go. You know what? I don't see it, though. It must be a reflection of something that's in here. Let it go, Jen. Okay, if you can't tell, I'm totally squirreling still. I was supposed to get my meds today. I got my health insurance back. I had my appointment with the doctor. He prescribed my meds, and I was all excited, and I went to go pick them up tonight after the Tuesday nooner. Thank you, Adrian. Actually, Deb Breckenridge, who's on here, made my necklace. So I went to go get my meds today, and they did not have enough of my meds to give me any. So I thought I was going to have my meds, which means I didn't prepare as much as I would have. Like, it takes me a lot longer without my meds. And I don't have any of the cards pulled, and I thought I'll just do it because I'll have my meds, so I'll do it, and it'll go really quickly, and I'll be right on track, and everything will go perfectly. But when I went to get them, the doctor's been prescribing me 3 months. Well, he did the last time, which was March. He prescribed me 3 months, and that's the last time I had my meds. And so they didn't have enough to give me 3 months worth, and I said, well, can't you give me some? And she said, no, because it's a controlled substance, therefore you can't have any, you either get all or none. So here we are without meds. So I really did not have the time to, you know what, that light is going to annoy the shit out of me. I think that's so stupid. I agree. I think that is so stupid also. I have to shut off this light because it's too bright back here. Whew. That's better. I agree. I think that is so stupid also. And I'm super annoyed by it, but it is what it is. So that's what it is. And so I won't have my meds until Thursday. So I was really, really hoping that I would have my meds, which would carry me through, and allow me to finish what I needed to finish. And, be able to focus and do what I needed to do tonight. But since that didn't happen, I could have tried really hard and gone crazy trying to get together all the judgment cards and be as prepared as I normally would be, but I didn't want to rush it. Meds for rune study. Exactly. Yay, I'll have meds for rune study. I don't get them till after 2, so I'm going to try on Thursday to take a break at 2. Well, actually, I'm going to call them, but I'm going to try to take a break as soon as they say they have them, so I can take it as early as I can, because I was going to take it tonight anyways and be up probably all night because I haven't had my meds in so long now. But I'm going to try to take them as early as I can Thursday, so maybe at some point I can sleep also. So that's what it is. That's why we are instead doing a Yule study tonight, because, I know Yule like the back of my hand. Not that I don't know judgment, but I try to pull all the cards for you guys, and I try to do enough research where I really feel like I'm with it, and I'm not really with it. So here we are. So I hope you'll all forgive me and allow me that sleep. What? I know. Allow me that that forbearance to postpone. So tonight's judgment card will be postponed for 2 weeks, because next week, Tarot Tuesday would be the day after Yule. And because the night of Yule, usually I'm up really, really late, if not all night, waiting for the sun to come up. And I have a Tuesday nooner that day, that Tuesday next week. I decided I'm not going to do Tarot Tuesday next week at all, because I'm sure I will be doing a Yule video the night before, like a Yule ritual the night before. And I didn't want to totally overstress myself. So the 29th is the week after that. So we'll be going live with the judgment card. The 29th will be our next Tarot Tuesday. Okay. Hi, honey. Sound good, you guys? Hopefully. Hopefully. All right. I'm going to just mention that I'm on now. YouTube now. Because there's a couple people that said yes, they were okay with me going on. And then I don't see everyone here that commented on Facebook. So, all right. So hopefully everyone is good. Gives me a couple weeks to contemplate other judgment cards. Exactly. And me too. For sure. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Good. Exactly. Okay. So, Yule, let's talk about it. Because some of you are new to me this year. I don't know if you've ever celebrated Yule before, or if you know what Yule is. Hi, Kay. You're early. I'm early, and I'm doing Yule instead of doing Tarot Tuesday. I have to wait 2 weeks for judgment. I guess I can blame, yes, the United States Postal Service. Exactly. Hi, Sarana. Hi, Emma. Emma, you did not get your package yet, right? From MDL? I think I looked at it this morning. So I'm going to tell you now because it's already on its way. And I was hoping that you would have gotten it before. Oh, you'll get it before Yule. I included the your winnings from winning when we had my giveaway. I included your winnings in your package, your MDL package this time. So you'll be getting your winnings. So I was kind of hoping that, the Postal Service would buck up and get it there eventually. After Christmas craziness. Yes. This will be my second Yule. Good. Cool. I hope mine comes before Yule. I do too, Kay. I know it. The Postal Service has been a little crazy for sure. Yay. Okay, so Yule is the winter solstice. This year, the shortest day, the longest night. So the shortest day falls on December 21st, which is Monday. Next Monday, a week from yesterday, is Yule, the shortest day. The longest night, therefore, starts at dusk on Monday night. And then we will be celebrating, waiting for the sun to rise again. When the sun comes up on the morning of the 22nd, then we will know that the sun's return has happened, and our vigil for the longest night worked and the sun rose again. And so Yule, as a pagan, we celebrate the shortest day, the longest night, as a celebration of my incense went out again. All right, this is a bad stick. I need a different stick. This one was broken half. Can you see that? This is a bad one. I bought 10 more. This is my favorite. My first Yule, I can't celebrate it the way it should be celebrated. There's always next year. That's okay. Hi, Gina. Sharing with some local witches. Yay! So we are celebrating. Yule is such a wonderful holiday to me. I know. I have to say it though. It's one of my favorites. It is. I know. It's always my favorite. The next upcoming one is always my favorite, right? But it is one of my favorites. I love Yule. I so love the quietness of Yule and the anticipation of waiting to see the sun in the morning, that it happened and it's going to come up, and the sun is going to return, and we get to think about the darkness that has been going on since summer solstice. Summer solstice starts the dark half of the year. And so this is a big point of contemplation, of looking back throughout what we've accomplished this year, of looking back through what has happened all year, of really kind of taking stock of where we're at in our path, what we want to do in the future, where we are going, and any shadow work that we may have done. It's kind of looking at that as a whole and saying, okay, what else? Is there stuff that I've learned that that I've been able to let go of? Pat yourself on the back, right? Good job. You've done well. You've done well this year, especially through this year. I have to say, I feel like it's doubly important this year, being that we are in this year of pandemic. We are in this year of craziness and a global health crisis, of reprioritizing things, of looking at things so differently than we ever would have looked at them before, that it's a really chaos, right? Yes, that it is a really good night to kind of reevaluate things. And I love that feeling, that being able to quietly reflect. And it is very much a night of reflection for me. And usually it's a very personal night. I have decided that there will be a small, I don't even know if I would call it a ritual. I think, I believe last year I also did kind of a meditation. I'm not going to plan like a big ritual like I normally do for Sabbats, because Yule is to me, is quite a solitary event. That doesn't mean it has to be. If you're celebrating with a coven, if you're celebrating with other people, that's awesome. But for me, it's very reflective on a personal scale. And so what I will be doing, I'm really hoping I get my meditation that Scotty has given me, that I received through the idea for it, through a vision from Scotty. And I'm really hoping that I finish that meditation before Yule. So I plan on working on it a lot this weekend. And hopefully that's what I can do, is that meditation. It will be kind of a quiet event. It's not going to be a big, huge, drawn out ritual. I do a personal solitary ritual for myself at home. But since one year, I think it was not last year, but the year before, we did this Yule Fest thing where we were supposed to stay up all night, and we were all doing separate videos, and honestly, it didn't work out all that wonderfully. Although the people who went on were great, but about halfway through the night, we all were really tired. And we were all like, oh, gosh, I don't know if I can do this. And so that kind of taught me 2 years ago that Yule is a much more solitary event. And that's okay. Last year, it gave me a deep respect for Yule. I received the call my brother passed after a long illness as the sun was rising on the 22nd. Wow. That's quite a happening. So I'll be on my own this Christmas Yule because of restrictions. I know. It is sad. It is sad, and it is hard. I have to work Yule, boo, which would mean if we did, I wouldn't be able to participate anyhow. Well, I'm working too. And for the first time, it's weird that I am working in a metaphysical shop, and I'll be working Yule. It's not like we get Yule off. The merriment of Yule comes in the next day, Sonia. The merriment of Yule comes in when the sun rises again. And so we know that our ancestors celebrated Yule same way. They kind of contemplated things. They were a little somber and looking back, and it's a time of reflection. And we're using that longest night to really reflect on the darkness in our lives and what we've looked at all year. And then our ancestors looked at, were waiting to see if the sun rose again, because it was a scary time back then. Before there was electricity, they weren't sure that the sun would rise again. They kind of thought, well, maybe this is it. Maybe there will be no more sun. And they lit candles, and they thought that in order to help the sun along, yes, Midnight Mass is a total pagan holdover, definitely. In order to help the sun come back, that they had to kind of hold a vigil and stay up all night with candles lighting the way for the sun's return in the morning. And then when the sun returned, there would be a huge celebration. Huge celebration. Yay, the sun has returned. We have made it through the longest night, and we are headed out towards the days getting a little bit longer. That was the longest night of the year, and from here on out, they get a little bit longer every day until summer solstice again. And so that is where the joyous celebration comes in, is, yes, the sun came back. Recommend a good book on Yule. Well, I have so many. I can tell you the Winter Solstice. This is by John Matthews. Caitlin Matthews has something to do with that one. When Santa was a shaman. When Santa was a shaman. That's a good one. I'll tell you, one of my favorites is Pagan Christmas. This is by Christian Ratch and Claudia Mueller. Pagan Christmas, this is a good one. Tells a lot of different pagan celebrations and rituals. Mama, how do you deal with family members who don't understand your path and think that you're getting into dark stuff? Crimson Moon. So, patience. I have to say, a lot of patience with them and with how they are viewing your path here. There are a few books that I always recommend. Pagans and Christians. That's one of them. It's called Pagans and Christians. That's a good book to give to them. That gives a viewpoint on both sides and kind of makes it a little bit less scary for them. I actually gifted that book to a lot of people in my family. And really patience, a lot of patience should be had at this time of year especially. It's very easy, and I have done it. I'm not going to tell you that I haven't. It's very easy to kind of go off on your family and tell them how most of their traditions are pagan and how dumb are they because they don't have any idea that they're celebrating all kinds of pagan traditions, especially around this time of year. The tree is a pagan tradition. Their midnight mass is a pagan tradition. Like the time of year, December 25th, is a pagan tradition. They took so much from our religion to celebrate this holiday at this time. That is the wrong way to go, though, if you actually want them to start opening up. If you've kind of had it, I get it. I've done it. But it's try to give as much patience as you can. There's a song by S.J. Tucker that I love I remember playing that song at Yule, at Christmas dinner for my family. And I said to my family, who's the author of Pagan Christmas? Right here. Here we go. I said to my family that year, guys, I know that you're worried about my path, but I want you to know, first of all, that it is a nature-based path. It's not a darkness thing. It's a nature-based path. And it is the fastest growing religion, Wicca actually, but paganism in general is the fastest growing religion in the world right now. So many people are going back to a nature-based religion that it is absolutely the fastest growing religion in the world right now. So that hopefully will help them ease themselves a little bit. And you can tell them that, do you have a lot of crystals, shadows? Just took the names out of it and made it more generic, and it worked for her. Crimson Moon, my mom assured me that Wicca and Buddhism were evil, but sure enough, the truth of the path is quite profound. It was to the point that my mother was coming to me for Christian advice, right? There you go. That's okay, Sarana, I gotcha. I'm good. I figured that out after I read back. And so I played that song for them. The Pagans and the Christians is a Yule song by S.J. Tucker. And it's a great song. It's about sitting down at the dinner table with your Christian relatives and allowing one another to believe what they believe in peace. And that's really what the holiday is all about. As you can say, we teach peace. We teach peace with nature. We follow the cycles, the seasons of the year, and use that to help propel our lives. The different the wheel of the year, the different cycles of the earth. And there's nothing evil about that. Where they get confusion is usually about deity. So about gods and goddesses, the fact that we may believe, and not all of us do, but we may believe in multiple gods or goddesses. They kind of, especially if they're very old school traditional Christian, they may feel something about that. And I would to start out with, avoid that topic. I would either say, not everyone believes in deity like that. You don't have to believe in deity to be pagan. You don't have to say what you believe in. Or I would just say, that's not a huge part of what we believe to start out with. We really are looking at nature, and we are looking at nature a great deal. You're so welcome. And that book is a big help, I must say. That book, it's called Pagans and Christians. And I do see it. Hold on. I'll show it to you real quick. Here. Like I said, I actually gifted that book to several of my family members. I have family members who were like in the Catholic Church. I have deacons and altar people and processional people and all that in the Catholic Church in my family. As a matter of fact, one of our closest family members was a priest. He's gone now. But hi, Heather. But I gifted this book. So it's called Pagans and Christians, The Personal Spiritual Experience. This is by Gus Dzerga. He's a doctorate. And I'll read the back just so you can get an idea. Promoting understanding and reconciliation between sister faiths. Pagans and Christians is a brilliant and provocative, yet gentle and caring defense of paganism in the face of those forces, principally Christianity, that have historically misunderstood and misrepresented it, often with horrific and murderous consequences. But more to the point, this wonderful book is a rich dialogue between the pagan and the Christian approaches to the sacred, pointing out quite rightly, I believe, that neither has the single correct approach to the divine, but that both can be and are legitimate expressions of that ever-present spirit, which is the fountain of all genuine devotion, release, harmony, and fulfillment. Written in popular language for both pagans and Christians, this book is highly recommended for all spiritual seekers or those who would find the divine in the very midst of the here and now, present as that open secret to which the world has always aspired. And it's a great book to gift to your family members who don't understand. And remember that paganism in general, but Wiccan in specific, is the fastest growing religion on the planet. It really is. My family isn't religious. They just have it in their minds that pagans worship the devil. And exactly. And you can just, hand them that book. If they do not. That is not what we're about. Now, there is a sect of paganism called Satanism. And true Satanism is about Lucifer, which also has nothing to do with devil worship and, evil and anti-Christianity and stuff. It's totally a different concept. Southern Baptists are not so easily convinced. I know. Exactly. And sometimes that's exactly it. Sometimes you really just have to say, I'm sorry that we disagree. I can tell you that this is not an evil thing. Try not to worry about me or anything like that. But sometimes you just have to agree to disagree and say, let's not discuss it. Why must YouTube take after Facebook? Oh, Amanda, I went on to Facebook to where everyone had commented, at least to tell people that I was going on, hoping that would help. But I know YouTube stinks. My mother's from Texas. So yes, I know. I hear you. And sometimes it just is what it is, right? Sometimes there's nothing we're going to be able to do to convince them otherwise. And again, I know it's really hard. Sometimes, as a pagan for many, many years now, I can say that I have purposefully pushed my Christian family's buttons. And that doesn't help. But, after a while, when you hear the same things over and over and you think, ugh, why can't you just let it be? I'm sorry that we don't believe in the same things. That I have purposely, and I still do purposely sometimes push buttons like Krampus. And my mother hates Krampus. Hates Krampus. And so, yes. I have purposely pushed buttons before. So yes, that has happened. Okay. So, Yule. We can talk about Yule also as the you know what, guys? You're gonna kill me. I can't believe I didn't do this before. I'm an old lady now, and I suddenly have to go pee. Isn't this horrible? I hate being an old lady. So talk amongst yourselves. I'll be right back. Oh, I love being an old lady. Back, wash my hands. Oh, so professional. I love how professional my videos are. I always think of how funny it is that that people who edit all their videos perfectly, that they must watch my videos and go, who is this woman? Oh, it's so cute. Okay. Here we go. Yes, the conjunction on the 21st. Yes, yes, the conjunction, Saturn is making the great conjunction. I think out the fun is too boring, right? I know. Nice necklace, right, Deb? Woohoo! All right. I am really excited for the conjunction, too. It's the first time it's happened in some ridiculous amount of time, and it's not going to happen again in some ridiculous amount of time. All right. So, what was I talking about? Oh, the Holly King and Oak King. So the fight between the Holly King and the Oak King, that's a great way to talk about the changing of the dark half of the year and the light half of the year. So the Holly King rules the dark half of the year. So when the summer solstice hits, the Oak King loses to the Holly King. That's when the dark half of the year starts, is on summer solstice. So, dark half of the year, the Holly King rules until Yule, the day of Yule. The Oak King then defeats the Holly King, and the Oak King then rules the light half of the year. So, the Holly King looks very much like a woodsy Santa. And he is about to get defeated here. It's almost time for him to go and the Oak King to rule again for the light half of the year. I hope that I can see it. I'm going to try to get some pictures. Oh, right? Yeah, me too. And so that's another way to look at this season is the fight between the Holly King and the Oak King. I, of course, have a million books on Yule. Yule is I was thinking that if you count how many books I have on each season, on each Sabbath, and then that's what dictates what my favorite Sabbath is, then it would definitely be Yule, because I have a ton of Yule books. So I've talked about Pagan Christmas. I've talked about the Winter Solstice. That's John Matthews. When Santa was a shaman. Let the sun shine in. So the O King kills Santa. Yes, yes, he does, Stephen. The O King kills Santa. That's right. By now, Santa is an old man. Santa is kind of run down. He's reached the end of his year. Celebrating the solstice. This one is by Richard Heinberg. Honoring the Earth's seasonal rhythms through festival and ceremony. Then I have a bunch that are just secular. Old-fashioned Christmas. This has a lot of pagan stuff in there because it's a vintage Christmas book. The Solstice Evergreen. This is history, folklore, and origins of the Christmas tree. Who dies in the winter and regenerates to take down the O King. Exactly. So that's a good one about the Christmas tree or the pagan tree or the Yule tree, and how it really is a pagan tradition that the Christians decided to take on. Yule. This one's by Dorothy Morrison. This is the older of the Llewellyn series. There's two different Llewellyn series. The other one is that this one. The smaller books. Those are the other Llewellyn series. That's a good one. The Old Magic of Christmas, Linda Radisson. That's a great book about older pagan traditions. This one talks a lot about Krampus in there and the different Krampus traditions. That's a really good one. I actually saw the Llewellyn had a great conference on Monday. Was it Monday night? With 4 pagan authors who had done Yule books. And I'm sure they probably saved it. Take a look in Llewellyn's Facebook page, and I bet you'll see it. It was a great little Zoom call conference that we watched from 4 different pagan authors of Yule books. This was one of them. Linda was there, and who else was there? Yes, this is a really good one. Jason Menke was there, the Pathos guy, who's great. He has a Yule book out, and I didn't even know he had a Yule book out. And there was, I can't remember the other 2. This is a children's book that I'll be reading on Facebook this week, The Shortest Day. This one is by Wendy Pfeffer. She has a couple different Sabbath books for kids. There are verses in the Bible against bringing a tree into the home. Yes, specifically against bringing a tree into the home, right, Stephen? There is verses in the Bible about being against it. You are not allowed to bring in a tree and decorate the tree, and that's because it was a pagan tradition, and they were afraid of those pagan traditions, so they tried to damp that down as best they could. The Shortest Day. And then the other children's one that I'll be reading this week is the Ellen Jackson book, The Winter Solstice. That's a really good one. The Return of the Light. I have been reading. I've read a couple stories this year from The Return of the Light. This is several stories. Short stories about the winter solstice from around the world. So 12 tales from around the world for winter solstice. That's a really good one too. So I have a lot of different Yule books, and I just dropped a whole bunch. Ancient Celtic festivals. That's a children's one. No, the verse that gets quoted about Christmas trees specifically forbidding the carving of idols. There is a verse, though, that talks about bringing trees into the house and decorating them specifically. Deck the halls. This one is about different traditions from around the world. I've got too many books here. I'm going to drop them all. Hark, a Christmas sampler. Again, this is traditions from around the world. May I come and borrow from your library? Yes, you can come and read from my library for sure. I love it. So those are my Yule books. So if you go by that, then definitely Yule is probably my favorite. So again, it's a lot about reflection, a lot about learning about where you've come through the year and looking forward to where we're going. Any questions? I saw stones, different correspondences, stones for Yule specifically, the winter solstice specifically, are garnet, bloodstone, specifically heliotrope bloodstone, emerald, rubies, so greens and reds, a lot of the greens and reds. The winter solstice stones are sunstone, selenite. The rest are the same as Yule: garnet, bloodstone. There is, what am I trying to think of? Longest night, obsidian, and not jet, black onyx. Traditional red and green and solar colors. Yes, yep. For sure. I'm seeing a trip to Books A Million in my future. Yay, right? Yes, yes, yes. That's all right. You're good, Sarana. Good job. For sure. So yes, traditional Yule colors is a great idea. As far as an altar go, my altars are usually a little bit more elaborate than they need to be, right? But I have all right. Let me preface this first by saying that I have way too much crap for my altars. So please do not think you have to have a different chalice for every Sabbath. I have been collecting from Goodwill, and mind you, 99% of my stuff comes from Goodwill. So it's like $1, $2. But I've collected it over years of time. The Yule Goat. Oh, that's a Norse tradition, and I'll get back to that. Actually, let me see if I can find the story on it specifically, because it's actually a good story. 90% of what I get, at least for my altars, is from Goodwill. So please don't think that you have to have a different chalice just because I do for every Sabbath. I always use this chalice for Yule because it's white, reminds me of the snow, and it's got an oak leaf on it. Because the Oak King comes, it's the Oak King's time to defeat the Holly King. I always have representations of the Holly King on my altar. So I have representations of the Holly King there, and over there I have representations of the Holly King over there. I have an offering dish of crystals on the God side. And I have an offering dish of crystals on the goddess side. I have my Yule bell, which has Yule stuff on it. These are for the Yule cards, which I realize that most of them are at the shop right now. I have my joy candles, which I have to put my candles in there, but there's 3 candles on that. My cauldron, I always burn my Yule incense in my cauldron. And I usually put some kind of offering flower-wise poinsettias or something in that. In the center, I have my candle. That actually has a candle on behind it. You can't really see it because it's not going very high. But I have 2 other candles here. I have many, many more candles that will be put on the altar, though. I have my Yule candle snuffer. Yes, I know. A Yule candle snuffer. Really, Jen? Yes, I really do. This has snowflakes in it. And I have my blue snowflake one, which will go on the altar. And I will tell you that, and I happen to have my rune stuff on there too, but the pentacle is on there. I will tell you that most of my altar, besides the regular altar things that I have on there, most of my altar is candles. The rest of the space in my altar will be taken up with candles. Because for Yule, the most important thing is, for me, it gives me that feeling of reflection. I want to take that time to reflect. Candlelight always makes you feel kind of serene anyways, right? And so it gives you that feeling of, I'm waiting for the return of the light. And it's a serenity feeling. It's a reflection feeling. That's right, return of the light. And so a lot of candles. The biggest thing, if you want to put an altar together, the biggest thing is candles, at least for me. And again, if it works for you, it works. So that's okay. Hi, Frenchie. But for me, it's about the return of the light. So it's encouraging that sun to come back and to show itself. So altars for me have, Yule altars anyways, have a lot to do with candles. I'll be filling all that in with lots more candles. And I have at least 2 or 3 that will be on all night that kind of are held as a vigil. A vigil? What is a vigil, Jen? As a vigil, waiting for that sun to come back up again. Okay. The Yule Goat, let me see if I can find a good story on that, because it's a great tradition. It would help if I could remember what it was called, which... Oh, you know what? Pagan Christians, or Pagan Christmas, I bet you it's on there. One person holding a vigil. Yes, and a dawn ritual if you can manage to stay up all night. Exactly. And if you can't manage to stay up all night and you need sleep, which may happen, I have done both. I've stayed up all night some years, and some years I have gone to sleep. If I go to sleep, I will set an alarm and I get up before the sun to greet the sunrise. It is a great tradition to greet the sunrise. Now, I don't know, I will tell you, even though it's a very solitary thing, I would be willing to record what I do in the morning when the sun rises, and even really to do a live if I took the chat off. I wouldn't want people talking back and forth and stuff, because it's a kind of a thing that you should do solitarily. But I would be willing to share that in case you don't know what to say, or you're uncomfortable and not sure how to say things. I would be willing to do that in the morning, to record what I was doing. I just would take the chat part off of there. All right, what the heck is the Yule Goat called? Because, of course, now I cannot remember. I know it is in this book. Like a guided meditation? Yes. Yep. Or usually I just light some candles. I say a couple things. There's poems and stuff that I like to read to return the sun. All right, if I can't find it now, then I will include that in what I'm reading on Facebook this week. Because there's a great story that goes behind the Yule Goat. It's a Norse tradition. So I'll record that this year, or not record it. I'll probably go live and just turn off the chat option. So if you happen to catch it, it will not allow you to chat, but it will allow you to be there. Odin, maybe it's under the Odin stuff. 130 to 131. Hold on. Nope. Not at all. All right. I will find the stories on it and do that as part of the readings that I plan on doing on Facebook this week, okay? Yeah, there's I don't know if they have it under Thor. It's probably under the name of the goat, what they call the goat. Oh, maybe it is. 45, 46. 45, 46. Oh, no, they talk about the mushroom, though. Which that has to do with the Christmas tree, too. But we'll let that go for right now. Fly agaric. No, they're talking about the mushrooms. Yes. Thank you. That, Stephen. That's why I can't remember that, because I can never say it. Tangrisner. Yeah, of course it's not under that either. I'll find it. I promise. I'll do it this week. Reading us on Facebook. Yes. Yes, Kay, I have I've done a couple different readings so far on Facebook. If you look under the videos on the Facebook page of stories, Solstice stories that are wonderful. That's totally going to fall and I don't trust it. We're going to put it up here. Wonderful Return of the Light kind of stories from around the world. And I plan on doing another one. Tomorrow's Wednesday, right? So I'll do another one tomorrow and Friday. And then whatever else I have to do over the weekend to catch us up to Yule, I'll do that. Any other questions on Yule? Click that like button for me. I'm not quite done yet, but any other questions on Yule? We only have 18 likes, and we want this to go further than that because YouTube's ridiculous ratios. The more likes you have, the more they share it with people. So, silly, but you're a busy person. I am. I know it. I am. The rune study. The rune study, we will be on Thursday. We will be studying Turizaz. Turizaz is the rune of Thursday. But I'm going to be a good girl and not ask it. Amanda, you can ask a question. I don't mind. Herb spices for Yule. So it's mistletoe is the biggest one. Mistletoe is a big Yule winter solstice spice herb kind of thing. That came from the Druids long, long ago. And there's a story that goes behind that also. And so that's a huge one. Frankincense and myrrh are a huge Yule herb resin that came before the We Three Kings, right? Yep, anise is a big one for sure. Holly is a big one for sure. What else? Cinnamon, cloves, orange. They are, yep, bay leaf. Absolutely. Yep. So the Yule Log Traditions, what they have turned into now is that you cut off, if you get live trees, you cut off the bottom part of your live tree and save it for your Yule log and burn it for the next year, which symbolizes the turning of the wheel. You save that wood and it symbolizes that continuation, that we know that the sun will rise again. It kind of is a way of remembrance. You keep that Yule log all year long, and then it knows the traditions, what you have been through the year. And then at the end of the year at Yule, you burn that in your hearth fire if you have one. A lot of people will just save the same Yule log and put candles in it and burn it. That's okay. Cinnamon, cloves, dried orange, dried cranberries, vanilla. Right? Sounds good. My Yule incense is for sale at the shop, although it's probably too late to get it. What else? Oh, so our rune study. Our rune study has been doing great. If you haven't had a chance and you're interested at all in runes, please check it out. We've been having a lot of fun with the runes. I'm learning a lot. I think you guys are learning a lot. And it's been a whole lot of fun. One thing I haven't been talking about, which is one of the things I wanted to talk about, is watching you with my son. He says hi. His name is Jack. Hi, Jack. How are you? Let's see, I was trying to remember any of my French. Yeah. One thing that I haven't been talking about is runes in everyday life, like where you soundproof the room. I know, right? Where you see runes in everyday life. I've been seeing runes everywhere. Since we started the study, I have seen it all over. I want to hear from you. Have you seen it in TV shows? Have you seen it around town? Where have you seen the runes? Tell me on Thursday. I want you to come with a list of where you've seen the runes. I've seen it in several shows. My Buffy show. I've seen it in lots of the shows we've been watching. Legend of the Seekers has some. We watch The Outpost. And there's a character on The Outpost that has a rune stave. You know, several runes together tattooed on his chest. Really, really good. Nosferatu, there you go. That's a good one. C'est difficult. Yes. Yes. Je ne parle pas le français. Very little, anyway. How many runes are there? It depends on what set you're talking about. For the Elder Futhark, there's 24. Yes, I hope you can catch up. It's been really, really fun. I love my wassail with my Yule herbs. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Good. I've really been enjoying myself with the runes. I think they are great. We have found runes in all over, like Mikey's Scully he just got recently has a big rune on it, and I had to call him and tell him there was a rune on it, and that rune we haven't gone over yet, but it happens to mean intelligence and wisdom. So really some interesting places to see the runes. Yes. Okay. Well, I am so glad that we had this study. I'm glad that we were able to be together again tonight keep an eye out. Tomorrow I will be doing one of the children's books. Then Friday I will do the other children's book. No, not that one. Actually, it's this one. This is the one that was on Mikey's skull. The Bluetooth symbol is based on runes. Ah, I didn't know that, Stephen. See? Beautiful. Canals. That's right. So many runes all over. Yes, yes, yes. All right. Well, I thank you guys. I love you. I will do a couple different things for Yule. I will continue. I'm sure this weekend I'll be on several times because I try to give as much information as I can and I kind of forget. Oh, Sarana said something on the Facebook page about a TV show that's on Netflix that is a kids show called Hilda. And they had the second season. It's a kids show about witches. The second season had, and I totally forgot about it, had an episode about the Yule Lads. So that is one of the stories that I read last year, I believe. If you want to take a look, I'll try to find the link for it and post my story about it. But the Yule Lads is like a fae happening. They are a group of fae that get together around Yule time, and some of them cause mischief, and some of them, do some fun things. But that is on Netflix under Hilda, Hilda. Hilda is a very cute witch show. If any of you have younger kids, it's a great little witch show for kids. But they have an episode specifically about the Yule Lads. So, yep, Tom and Brownies are big fae. Absolutely. I thought it was super cute, and I don't have any grandchildren yet. Hint, hint, my boys. So, thank you, Heather. Yes, absolutely. All right, click that like button for me on the way out. It's not all about witches. I know, but there is a lot of witch stuff in it, though. You're right. It's not all about witches. There's a lot of witch stuff in it, though. It's pretty interesting that they put a lot of it in there. So it's really cute. All right, guys. I love you. Lots of nature spirits. Exactly. Have a great night. Thank you for bearing with me and allowing me to do a Yule thing instead of Tarot Tuesday tonight. I appreciate it. I love you guys.